Hey, Scarefest fans, this is Joe Lewis of Bonehead Weekly, and this week's review is from a movie that's not only on the Hulus, but the director has been interviewed by me on Bonehead Weekly, Stephen C. Miller. The movie is Werewolves. If you've never heard of Werewolves, that's okay. It's a movie that came out in 2024, and it's a Hulu. It's not really a Hulu exclusive, but basically what it is it's not necessarily, it's kind of more not futuristic as much as it is an alternate timeline. And what it does is it takes place in a world where the supermoon happens a year or so two ago. And what happens is all these people across the planet, several different, turn into werewolves and attack people. And then it's gone after a day, only when the supermoon happens. And once it's over with, they kind of come back. And then the scientists over the last few years or the year have been trying to prepare and come up with a vaccine to save everybody. And people are boarding up their houses and whatnot because that's what happens, family. And then what happens is there's this mom and daughter, and her brother-in-law, played by Frank Grillo, is a scientist. That's one of the more unbelievable parts of actually of this. Nothing, Frank Grillo's chiseled and whatever and is a good actor, but the scientist thing's a little hard to believe. He is trying to help save everyone and work with another lead scientist named Dr. Arenada, who is played by the great Lou Diamond Phillips, who's one of the nicest people ever you can ever meet. And as they try to come up with this vaccine, and his sister-in-law and his daughter or his niece are at home alone, and that's because his brother or whatever got killed the last time the werewolves came out and whatnot. We don't really get all the story, and maybe I just missed it. That's the plot. He leaves them to go off to do this where they think they've got the serum, but they can't test it till the supermoon comes back. Did I like this movie? Actually, I did. There's a lot of different parts about it that I quite like. It suffers a lot from its low budget as it goes through, but Stephen Miller does the best he can, getting the most he can out of a lot of this. There's a lot of blood. There's a lot of werewolves once the werewolf thing happens. And I kind of like the word. The snout's a little cartoonish, but for the most part, you see them walking around. They move. You know who they are because you can kind of see the clothes or a little bit on them to let you know, oh, this werewolf is this person. He gets a lot out of the werewolves. Of course, the serum doesn't quite work. And then he gets caught up in some stuff where the break out of the lab of these werewolves, and then he has to try to make his way across town to save, his sister-in-law and his niece. That's the story. Should you check out Werewolves on Hulu? If you like werewolves, yes. If you like Lou Diamond Phillips, yes. If you think Frank Grillo's hot, yes. If you're looking for anything other than a B-level werewolf film, kind of low budget, with a nifty little idea, then not so much. Like I said, Stephen C. Miller is one of the nicest directors I've ever interviewed, and I think he gets as much as you possibly can with the budget and out of this script. He does a really good job. It's just, at the end of the day, would you have liked to have seen a big scope movie with werewolves across the planet and all that? Yeah, and yeah. There's a lot to be said. There's a lot you could have done with this. So, should you check out Werewolves on Hulu? Yeah, if you're looking for a B-level film where there's blood and guts, there's some action. He does even some nifty things. I want to ask him or interview him. Some Quadash, if he was where they do the mask thing where they can pretend. I was like, you cut some days down with some talent so you could save some money. You'll notice it when you see it now that I brought it up. So check out Werewolves on Hulu. This has been Joe Lewis at Bonehead Weekly. Rawr.